This is the Popcorn Hero Show review of Joker. And not the Smash ones, not the Persona 5 one, okay, guys?
I mean, is even that
Joker.
popular to confuse that Joker?
No one thought that.
The personified one?
I don't even know what you're
Persona
talking
5.
about.
Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Yep.
Oh.
All right, gents and ladies. I am Armando.
The one
with
lady.
me as... Oh. What's going on?
Completely fucking this up. But
Fuck me
okay.
up, dude. I am Armando. With me, as always, is Pedro.
Hello.
Back for the first time, Mike.
Hey.
God's Plan, Orlando.
Yo.
And special guest, Chantel.
What's up?
What up, dudes?
You know.
Cool, man. How's Akio and shit?
I did wanted to name it. I wanted to name it Ikkyo and shit, but
That would have been pimp, man.
I wanted to be that, but then they were like, "Oh, you shouldn't use curse words on your title for your thing," and I was like, "All right, I guess."
So what is your thing again? Your podcast that you make, your show that's amazing.
The YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, cooking channel.
You cook on this thing?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, thanks for supporting.
Don't I follow you?
Do you?
Wasn't it egg something?
Yeah,
Egg
exactly.
something.
You said it. That's it, man. You do it.
Nah, I follow it, man. Get out of here.
You
Yeah.
follow her, man.
All right. Well.
Let me not check right now.
Yeah, I have a podcast / YouTube channel and all that good stuff. It's called Ikkyo and stuff.
Egg yolk and stuff. I
Yeah,
knew
yeah, sure.
Egg
Okay,
yolk.
so anyway, if you're new to the show, that's the first time you've heard of it because I did talk about it forever ago.
Right, but it's been a long
Yeah,
time. So
it
we
was
should,
been a long time.
talk about it some more.
Well, we have a YouTube channel now. Last time we didn't.
Right, that's new.
So
And the cooking channel's new.
the cooking channel's part of it's a series of Ikkyo and stuff. So we pretty much do talk about Asian media stuff and culture, travel, concerts, things like that. Mostly K-pop because it's like popular and what everybody wants to hear about, which is fine because I like it. So I'll talk about it. I don't care. But we talk about beauty and all that good stuff. But we also have a series where we cook K-pop idols' favorite food. So that's like our most popular thing.
Yeah.
That's what everybody really likes. So
Yeah, it's really well produced and it's really
Cooking someone's favorite food?
yeah, pretty
People are
much.
crazy.
And we do like a recipe of it. So,
Right,
Yeah, like
yeah.
we show you how to cook it. No, we don't just like
Got you.
here. This is me cooking. Like it is that, but I'm showing you how to do it
Right.
with the
Okay.
recipe and everything. And I also give you vegan options. So if you're vegan, you know how to do it in a vegan way.
yeah.
So yeah. So that's pretty much what I do now. That takes over my life.
Awesome. You guys, if you guys are into that kind of stuff, give her a click, listen, give her a subscribe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, subscribe.
Thumbs up.
YouTube life.
Awesome. Oh, it's good to have you here, Chantel.
Ring that bell. So here tonight, or daytime, whatever time you're listening to this, we are reviewing Joker. We just saw it. We're all fresh. It's in our minds.
Fresh.
You know? It's all fresh here,
Freshity,
guys.
freshy.
Fresh.
Get more fresh than this.
Certified fresh, right, Mike?
Certified.
As always, we're gonna start off with a short premise from Pedro, and then we'll get into it. Pedro, premise.
So, this movie follows Arthur Fleck, a mentally ill stand-up comedian clown. And it pretty much showcases his slow descent into madness.
Yep, essentially.
And that's pretty much all I'm going to say.
Cool. Good job, Pedro. I love the premise. Orlando, 1 out of 5, and your short thoughts on it. Don't get into it, because just make it quick.
I gave it a 4. I really liked it. I thought it was a good performance by Joaquin Phoenix. I really liked just showing how like mental illness can take a hold of someone's life and really like go downward spiral if they're not given the right care and need. So I really enjoyed that side of it. And yeah, overall great film. I thought everyone who's in the film did awesome as well. And I like how they tie it really well in the Batman universe.
Cool. Chantal?
I would also give it a 4. I like that it had the twist that this is
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free, just kidding. There was a twist that I was happy about. So there's that. But other than that, I think it's a great movie. It was very well done. I like Joaquin Phoenix acting. Yeah.
That's it?
I think
So,
so.
you-
Yeah.
what was your
I don't
score
want
again?
to. I don't want to like talk about it in too much
Yeah.
detail.
What was your score again?
I give it a 4 out of
4?
5. Mhm.
Nice. Mike.
Hey.
Hey.
1.5.
Fucking
trash.
1.
This movie was trash. The name was trash. What's that? Walking Phoenix was trash.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean his character or his acting?
His acting wasn't bad. Just I didn't like the character.
Man.
I loved what's her name though?
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz,
Of
man.
course you love Zazie
So
Beetz.
fun. Oh my God.
She's so pretty.
Yeah, she's
I
so
did
pretty.
the one. I guess the
She was there for like 5 minutes.
that was the best 5 minutes of the movie.
That
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Every time I saw, oh man, this movie's
You
amazing.
are a bad
she,
critic.
she's really pretty.
Yeah,
She-
she-
and she did really. I think she did really
And she
well.
did a good job too.
Those are the only good parts of the movie.
Okay,
when she was
she's
in it.
pretty and she does a good job interacting, but she was literally only there for 5 minutes of the whole.
The only
fucking
good
movie.
5 minutes of the movie.
That's why it has a 0.5 in it?
Yeah, that's where the 0.5 comes from. That and I did like the twist. The twist is really good.
Okay.
But I don't know. This movie, it just wasn't interesting to me. I got there. His acting, he's not a bad actor. Just the character wasn't good to me. The story, it was okay. I just expected more from a Joker movie. I expected more zaniness, more elaborate plots. I thought Joker was like a genius, and he didn't.
Well,
Maybe
this
because
is,
I'm sticking too much to the source.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this is
I'm jaded.
this is a totally different. This is an Elseworlds
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah.
It's a totally different take.
And this is essentially his downfall to that. He wasn't that yet. So essentially, it's how the
right.
process he got to there.
I guess it's Elseworlds, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I never saw Joker as a genius. I think that because he is literally insane, it's just hard for someone with logic like Batman to be able to
Pin down what he
yeah,
does.
like really know what he's actually fully thinking all the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to see that as a type of genius, I suppose, but it's not the type of genius that like people would like they would think of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I get you. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I feel like it's a good movie overall. It's just I feel like there was something missing about it. Like there's something that I couldn't quite grasp. That I don't know. There's something missing about it. No, it was an entertaining movie. It was disturbing, but not in the A of like oh my god, it's so bad. Like I can't see this shit. It was uncomfortable, but I was uncomfortable because of him. Like or because I was putting myself in his shoes, like what he was going through, what he was doing, and I was like, oh man, like that's so. You know how when you get that uncomfortable feeling when you're watching a movie, like when somebody's doing something stupid or something like that.
Oh yeah.
You get uncomfortable and like, oh no, don't do that. You know. It's not like Requiem for a Dream. You know when you watch Requiem for a Dream, how nasty you felt. Like that's fucking disgusting.
Right.
Like I didn't get this from that movie. I just felt uncomfortable because of the positions he put himself in. But other than that, you know, the acting is great. Joaquin Phoenix was, I think he was fucking on point. The way he lost weight for this role was fucking insane.
Yeah.
This is like Christian Bale insane of how much he lost weight for this. But overall, like the movie was okay. There was something off about it. I gotta watch it again to understand it more. But there was definitely something off for me. Pedro.
4 out of 5. I really liked it. The acting was top notch. It really reminded me. I just top notch. Top
Top
Mike.
notch. His acting or like just all the acting. I mean, it was really
I would say all the acting.
Yeah.
All the acting
top
was
notch from everybody.
Yeah,
But
from everyone.
except the midget. But apart from that,
Except the midget.
everybody else, like Joaquin Phoenix was on point,
Everybody else
dude.
was all right. He was the best
Like,
actor in the movie.
it's
Everybody else was
crazy
just
how-
regular. It
how
wasn't.
he got
They
into
weren't
it.
amazing.
But I think since you have an actor who's elevating it,
He outshines everyone in the movie.
He
Nah.
elevates everybody
I
with
didn't-
him. I think.
I'm interrupting Pedro's fucking
They,
review.
they did a great job of making him sympathetic, but at the same time going like, all right,
I can see why.
That's how you get there. That's how
Yeah.
you get from point A to point B. Because the whole time you're watching it, you're like, how is it? You're
not
not
really, because he's already at point B. He's
Not really. He's not
all right,
there.
I'm about to get in this.
Whoa, yeah. We'll get into spoilers in a bit. But this movie reminded me a lot of Taxi Driver, like completely. It was just so much parallels to it, and I'll get into that when we get into the spoilers of it. But there was it was a nice way of doing an Elseworlds and adding to the mythos, referencing the mythos in a way. And I don't know. I just thought it played it very well. I went into the movie forgetting about the lore.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I went into it going, all right, this is clearly like Martin Scorsese's working on this shit. He doesn't know the first fucking thing about a comic, so he's doing his own spin on it, and I really enjoyed the spin. So yeah, 4 to
That's
5.
what it is. I didn't go in thinking of it as Elseworlds.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Nobody
it's
acted,
not
and
like,
nobody really acted like themselves.
Yeah.
You know, the other characters. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. We're gonna get into spoilers now, because the only way to talk about this movie is fucking getting into it. So we're gonna get into spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
Okay.
Here we are. So Mike, you were saying earlier right now that you what was it that you're discussing with Pedro right now?
I forgot.
The lore.
No, he was gonna get into it. That he didn't like. Oh man, I missed that part.
That he's not.
Well, skipping that.
That he's not smart. That he's
No.
not.
No, it was something else.
But anyway, I'm sure we'll run into it.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about is how much I loved his laugh.
Yes.
I love that they made the laugh into a symptom of his craziness, but also it was like it was almost killing him.
But
It was like suffocating him.
was it actual sickness? Because towards the end he was just like it was like a lie or something like that.
No.
He was actually sick? Like that was
No,
actually
it wasn't.
a sickness he had.
I think it's more that he accepted it as a part of him instead of seeing it as a
Okay.
like
Symptom, yeah.
as a symptom. He was just like, "This is who I am. This is me." You said it was something
Was it
wrong
really
with
symptom,
me.
or was it in his head? I think
No,
they
because
kind
he
of played
said,
it loose.
well, when he was talking to his mom in the deathbed,
Before he
he's
killed her.
he was like, "Oh, you said there was something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me." And I saw it as like, you're telling me that my laugh is bad, but like it was like something that it shouldn't happen. Like it shouldn't be okay, and I should be ashamed of it. But I don't care anymore. Like I accept it as who I am. So he.
Because in that moment I took it as it was in his head.
No,
Yeah,
I think it was always a neurological thing. I just
Yeah.
think that he just accepted it as who he is as a person. Like it's a part of him.
Yeah.
That was fucking good. It was crazy.
It's proven that it actually was brain damage from the beatings.
Yeah.
Because remember, even in the report, it says that he had a severe head trauma.
Yeah.
So that's what it was, and then he just accepted it. But I just love that it was just the way it sounded. Like sometimes he'll start laughing and you hear him like wheezing and choking, and I'm like, man, this is like painful
Right.
to like listen to. It's uncomfortable.
When he's laughing a lot, he's like,
yeah. So
He's like that, yeah.
I almost took it as a way,
crazy.
like symbolically, that's his real self trying to creep out, and it's like fighting it and then like snuffing him until he finally just embraces it fully, and he embraces the laugh without the pain.
Yeah.
So that's the way I took it as. I'm like, oh man, I can see the symbolism in here creeping in, that it's like, like choking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, this is uncomfortable to listen to.
Yeah,
But I really, really like that. Like the laugh was fucking spot on for me.
Yeah, I think he has honestly. Out of the Joker, I think his laugh is the best laugh because
Laugh
just
is
of
the
just
best.
the.
Better than Mark Hamill? You're insane.
I think sound wise.
Man, Mark Hamill.
I think sound wise it gets better, but I think just the synth of it, like the reason behind it, and the
It's
fact,
better
and the
because
fact.
no one else has a reason. They're just crazy.
Well, I think at first I thought it was like Tourette's that he had. I was like, maybe it's a form of Tourette's. But then like knowing that the fact that like he laughs when he's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
and
Every
he's,
single
like,
time he laughed, he was uncomfortable.
he's like nervous or like he doesn't want to be in situations, he
Yeah.
laughs. He's like when he gets in an awkward
Yeah.
situation. And I kind of love that about it. Like it was basically like his anxiety coming, basically manifesting within his laughter.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to be anxious, so he starts to stop it. So I really love that about him in terms of like that part of his character.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So Robert De Niro's character, I was reading that he is pretty much a homage, almost like a sequel character to the movie King of Comedy. And I haven't watched the movie King of Comedy, but it's pretty much Robert De Niro plays as this mentally deranged stand-up comedian that really wants to get on a show for this guy called Jerry Langford, and he's a famous talk show host, and he really wants to get on
Like
there.
Carson.
He really wants to get on there. So what he does, he ends up kidnapping the guy. And one of the demands to give him back is to let him on the show. So then he gets on the show and he does stand up and he fucking like does amazing on it. Everyone laughs or whatever. And he even starts joking like, oh, the only reason why I'm here is because I kidnapped the guy and I made them put me up there. And, oh, you're all laughing now, but wait till tomorrow. So it kind of has like the same like vibe of this movie as well. The whole like just crazy to get on the show, and in
Yeah.
the show is where you make your breakout and you like get famous. And it ends with Robert De Niro's character being in the mental asylum, and then reading about like what a hit he was in the papers and everything.
Damn.
So I was like, man, it's very similar to this movie. So I could see why they brought back Robert De Niro to kind of play like a sequel version of his character. Like, what if he did make it, and then just fucking shoot him in the face? So that was pretty cool.
That whole sequence was pretty cool. Like when he's in the talk show and he's just talking to him, and I love how the camera's positioned on his face. Like it's like kind of like the profile type of camera position, and his make like it's funny because like when you see it play back in the screens, his makeup is very like nice. It's very bright. You see it, but when it was in that camera, it was very dark, and it was just I just love how that juxtaposition they had. It was amazing.
I know you're talking the part where he walks right up to the camera.
Yeah, but like, that's when but that's when they're playing it back. And because you know how at first, after all that, it started zooming out and you see all these screens. If you're watching the screens, one of the screens is of him in that talk show. And it was very clear. His makeup was very white and this and that. But in that position, when we first were seeing it, it was very dark. And I just love how that like all looked, the way he acted in it. It was
that scene in general, it was really tense. Like
it was.
The music was really tense. I was waiting for him to like
snap.
Shoot
snap.
him?
Yeah,
It took too long.
Either shoot
Just
him.
shoot a nigga in the fucking face. What's this conversation for?
I thought he was gonna shoot himself, dude, because the whole time
Right,
the
the-
movie
the
was trying
premise,
to
yeah.
force himself.
I didn't think he was gonna kill himself in the joke. That's not how the movie's gonna end. He's not gonna kill
But
himself.
I thought it could have ended that way, that he died, because I was just like, well, this is like a retelling, so it could end up like that he died.
Nah.
Yeah. Like he had the last laugh.
Yeah.
The reason that he's not going to shoot him in the face so quickly is because he's trying to make a point. So he has to keep the conversation going. If he just shoots him in the face, that's just bad plot.
He didn't make a point. No one cared about his point. He was just
Why didn't
arguing
if he
for
didn't
nothing.
if he didn't make a point, then you didn't understand.
He incited more of a riot too, if you think about it.
If you didn't understand, then you didn't look into it deeply enough.
Maybe
Sorry, my friend.
It wasn't all that interesting.
Yeah, I think I did like the end. Basically, it's kind of like hit the cry for help is over. It's time for like madness, basically.
Yeah.
Because he was basically crying out to everyone around him, like, "Hey, I'm sick. I'm not well," and like.
It just seemed like a big cry for attention. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of what it seemed like what he really wanted that he never got. He never felt he existed.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's like, wait a minute, people actually like the real me. Like he showed the real him in the subway, and they got
And
a
then
peek
that's
at
when
it,
people-
and he started worshiping that, and he's like, wow, they really like me, you know?
Yeah.
It gave me like V for Vendetta vibes, especially with the Guy Fawkes mask,
At the
the
end.
Joker mask and all that, and then the whole inciting the entire revolution off
Yeah.
of the one guy.
Yeah.
And even to the point where he became an idea.
Yeah.
Where people start copying him. It was just V for Vendetta as well. There's so many little movies in this movie that
You
I
know
really
what's
enjoyed.
funny about that Joker mask? It's the same one as Dark Knight, right?
No, it's not. This mask is plastic. The Dark Knight one goes over your face entirely. It's rubber.
Yeah, and it's different colors too, and there's no
Yeah.
hair on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause they look very similar.
Nah,
No,
you just forget
it's
it.
different.
You just don't remember.
Okay.
He's gonna Google it right now.
Grabs his phone. Okay.
I'm
remember
telling
what the
you,
Dark
it's
Knight
not the
one
same
looked like.
one.
Were your girls mad at you? Okay. Put up the evidence.
The one thing I liked, which at first I was like really thrown off by, and I was already hating on it, but thankfully it changed it for me, and I was like, oh, okay. Was the whole forced relationship with the girl.
Oh yeah.
At first, I was like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, me and Mike said the same thing. Like, it's the 70s, I'm guessing, and like, I'm not sure if Gotham has any race relations, but a white dude randomly kissing this black girl, fuck that. That
just
shit.
follow- following
It's
her
not
the
even
entire
that.
day.
It's not even
it's
that.
but he's just even creepy, and it's just
Yeah.
that. It's all of that. I think in combined, I'm just like, that's not gonna happen. That's not
Because
real.
that's the
make
thing.
any sense.
She goes in the scenario. She's like, were you following me all day? And he's like, yeah. And she finds that charming somehow, and I'm just like,
That's
no,
cute.
that's creepy as fucking shit.
Creepy
It's
as fuck.
fucking
Yeah.
creepy.
I
And
didn't-
then
I
he
didn't-
kissed her and shit, and they had like a relationship. I was like, this makes no fucking sense. This makes no fucking sense.
But-
And I don't like it. I don't like it. And then I realized that it was all in his fucking head.
Yeah.
I was like,
and you can see that like that clearly probably was the effects of like the meds wearing off, maybe because
Yeah.
he didn't have any more meds. So like clearly it was just like the next like everything about this movie was like knocking down another pillar for him to like lose his fucking like mind.
Yeah, which is fine. I was like pleasantly surprised that they did that, because sometimes you know how a lot of movies force relationships. I was like, wow, everything in this movie, it didn't make sense that they were forcing that when everything else seemed like it was okay
Like,
plot wise. You know what I mean? I was just like, why would they force this? And I realized now, because I was just like, this chick is like useless in this movie. I don't understand why she's here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why she's in this like whole movie the
Right.
whole time until I don't.
She is so fine.
She is really pretty.
Look her up again.
I'm not saying she's not pretty.
You
I'm
listened to her
just
on the way
saying
home or something.
Absolutely.
plot wise, I didn't understand through the first half of the movie why she was in any way relevant
Right.
to the story until
The end.
they were like, oh, it was all in his head. He was imagining her. And it was like the whole symbolism and everything. And I was just like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was just like, thank God.
She
I
was the
just like-
last piece keeping him together.
Yeah.
So when he finally like,
So does he kill her?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he killed her.
I don't know, man.
No, he didn't kill the
It
midget.
kind of
Why
left
would he
it
kill
open
her?
for interpretation, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I think a lot of this movie was left up.
They
for
did leave it
interpretation.
open for interpretation, but they weren't scared to show when he killed somebody in this movie. Like even at the end,
At the end
the
of
very
the show.
end, they show him walk away with the blood, which is heavily, obviously, if you're putting two
killed
and
her.
two together, killed her. He could have just walked out and done weird shit, and you would have been like, "Oh, did he kill her or not?" But that was clearly the blood. I'm sure they would have done something similar if he would have killed Zazie Beetz.
And what I also
And he had she had the daughter too, and then that would have caused a lot of ruckus because they live right across the street. There would have been police shit involved. Yeah, it's a movie. Technically,
But
they
then,
could
like
have.
when he got home, there was like a police siren, and then I swore I heard like someone yelling like in the complex when he got home and like sat down. Maybe that was just me hearing shit.
No, I did hear something, but I kind of heard that every time he went into the apartment because it was just a shitty area.
Shitty ass
Yeah.
apartment
So
complex.
that's what I took it as. I mean, I guess you could interpret it that way because it is open for interpretation. That is one way to look at it, but I didn't see it that way.
I hope not.
This movie did remind me on how I don't want to move to New York. I was just like, oh, see, this is what you remember when you were asking me why I get like anxiety just thinking about being in New York. And I'm just like, this is why all movies, all media have led me to believe that this is how New York is. And every time I go there, I am never proven wrong.
It's a good thing it wasn't New York; it was Gotham City.
So what?
You know, it was
Had a
New
very
York.
New York vibe.
But what do
was
you
it
Like,
filmed
this
in
is
New York?
But what do you mean though? Like what vibe? Like just the violence or just like
Yeah, I feel
Dirty,
like
grungy,
It's not
angry
even, like,
people.
It's not even the violence because I've never I've never experienced violence in New York personally when I've been there.
Right.
Rats, the super rats. That had to be New York.
rats are everything.
It was more like the dirty and the rudeness like of people. Now I know, don't everybody get your fucking panties in a knot, like
Whoa.
just because a lot of people are like very proud of New York and I get it, fine, like, you know, you love
That's how
your
I was
city,
filmed in New
cool,
York.
fine. But personally for me, every time I've been in New York, the grand majority of people are just rude as fuck and everything's dirty, it smells, and it's just not the kind of city I want to be in. And I feel very claustrophobic in it. It feels like there's a lot of buildings that are very small and very compact and that anything can just like touch it and it'll just all crumble into pieces. That's kind of how I feel about New York.
Oh,
That's
heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
that's pretty heavy.
So now I understand that I've never lived there, but that's just kind of how I've seen it from a non-New Yorker perspective every time I go.
Buildings
Yeah.
don't generally crumble to pieces, except for that one time. But
I mean, there's no earthquakes or
That one
anything
time,
like that over there.
The plane hit the building.
yeah, that one time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's something else. Oh my god, that's
What,
totally
too soon.
that's a little too soon. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
years later.
no. I'm talking about just like the city. Like I feel like a lot of I mean, it might be media's influence
Right.
Yeah, they
towards
do paint
me.
New York. They always paint New York in that
paint
light.
New York
But
in
the
a
thing is that New York, I
disgusting
don't
light.
think is always painted that way. New York sometimes is painted very beautifully.
But
and
it's also
sometimes-
this is
In
New
like
York.
the 70s. They don't give a fuck about that
Where?
shit
the
now.
70s is always
Oh, the
disgusting.
70s is
It's always
disgusting as it is.
disgusting.
That's the other thing too. At the 70s,
But now
Pedro
New
can
York
tell
is always
you.
painted very beautifully.
Where?
almost everything.
Like every movie, in every Marvel movie, it's beautiful.
But not even in Marvel movies.
That's a
It's
Marvel
Shut up,
movie.
man.
like,
It doesn't look like a good place to live
Everything's
in
beautiful
Marvel.
in Marvel.
Let's put it in a simple movie that we all can understand. Except Mike, Noah's Infinite Playlist, right? Nick and Noah's Infinite Playlist. New York was fucking
How
amazing.
you not to see that movie?
I don't-
You
think-
mentioned the one movie that 5 people have seen.
I haven't
I
seen
didn't.
that movie.
I didn't say.
Give me another
didn't see
movie.
it.
Give me another
Mike,
movie.
did you see that movie?
Hell, fuck no.
Orlando,
Infinite
give me a
Playlist.
movie where New
I
York
got
is
an
not
iPod.
seen as dirty.
It's just a very youthful. Like New York is
When
very
Harry Met
youthful.
Sally is a New York movie.
It's a New York movie also.
It's very
The
nice.
thing is that New York is very
All these
youthful.
movies I've never seen.
You're not
You know
convincing
what I'm
me.
saying? If when you watch a movie that and young people is there,
Long
New York
detour
is very
about New
youthful.
York.
Like you could do a lot of shit, it's going out.
I mean,
Let's
and
just
that.
scratch it up
Sex
to
and the City,
Let's
blah,
just
blah, blah.
let's just scratch it up to the 70s were dirty as fuck
Yeah.
in every part of the world,
But the
and
thing
that's
is-
it.
But the thing is that
70s
in the
is
70s, New
disgusting.
York was fucking horrendous. It was crime ridden. Even in the 80s, it was crime ridden. You know
Isn't
what
it
I'm saying?
crime-ridden
I mean, it's gotten better. It's not at the levels it was in the 70s or the 80s. you
Okay,
know?
I'll give it that, but it's still not. It's. I mean, and mind you,
And
like,
gentrification has fucking taken over New York too. So
listen here. Like, I'm just saying, comparing it as well. I'm gonna talk shit about my other city. I lived in LA for years, and LA, when I lived in Hollywood, that was just as disgusting. Like, Hollywood is disgusting. It is smelly and pollution. It smells like piss and cement all at once, just attacking your nostrils.
All right, let's not talk about cities.
Okay.
The Joker.
back to the
Joker
movie.
I'm sorry.
movie.
I'm just. You asked, okay?
Shanti hates cities. Never mention cities ever again.
I do like cities. I'm a city girl, but I like cities that are not fucking disgusting. Anyway.
Fake cities.
So,
that's a perfect B-side. Just cut it out, Pedro. Make it a B-side. Chantel New York rant.
don't make it a B-side. Can stay.
Maybe or maybe not.
Probably not.
I will not confirm nor deny that will be a
I mean,
B-side.
Back to the fucking Joker
So,
movie.
when I-
You have to cut up this entire episode.
So you know what's
anyways.
funny? What not funny,
His
but
dancing?
one of the
When
Oh my
Spider-Man
God.
did it, everyone hated it. When Joker does it, it's
Nah,
fucking amazing.
it's different.
That shit was...
It's different.
When Joker does it, it's completely different.
It was the
It's
same
different.
jazz hands I saw in Spider-Man 3 that y'all hated Tobey Maguire for.
at first I was
Right.
the first dance he did in the bathroom. I was just like, this
But
is
all right, you know what you. What's
so-
something I noticed? Wait, hold up. He does it every single time he kills somebody.
right. So at first when I was watching it, I was like, all right, this is getting too artsy. Like I was like, okay, but then when I realized he's slowly unraveling and slowly becoming insane, then I'm like, okay, this is part of his sickness, of his illness.
Yeah, the symbiote. That's not what happened? Oh.
You're not wrong. Apparently, you get a symbiote and you start dancing. So every time he killed someone, he got a little symbiote.
You know, one of the controversies that people were worried that like this movie it's too sympathetic to like the villain, I guess.
Now I remember what me and Pedro were talking about.
But I mean, I can't look at this movie and not sympathize for him. You know, like what he went through and what
I didn't
like.
sympathize. Stop being a fucking weirdo.
I mean,
It's not that hard.
So here's the thing. I agree with you. I did sympathize, but at the same time, you know when the line is crossed.
right? He crossed the line, but I guess what I'm trying to say
You
is
can
like,
sympathize. You're like, oh, how did he get there? Oh, yeah. Everyone that's gone there has gone through forms of trauma.
right?
And it just understands it. It's not like to me, the Jack Nicholson one was just like, oh, he's a villain. He's a hitman.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he gets some chemicals and he's crazy. And you're like, all right, yeah, the Joker's just crazy because he's crazy. But this one shows you where's the pain coming from.
Right.
So you
no,
do
but
feel
he's
for it.
crazy. He's always been crazy. Not always, but he's been crazy since he was a kid, apparently.
Well, no,
Well,
the thing
no,
is that when
it's
he was a kid, he was abused.
He smashed his head too.
He was abused as a kid. Remember the article said that the mom let
He was tied
the
to a radiator,
boyfriend abuse him.
Yeah.
Right.
So like he's had a
Yeah.
fucked up life.
And it seems like
He was adopted on top of that.
yeah, it seems
What? There's nothing wrong with being adopted.
I'm not saying
Apparently
that.
there
I'm just
is.
saying that
You got a
he.
The
fucked
fact
up
that
life.
he
You were
didn't
adopted.
know
The thing
for
is,
so long.
but it's not even that. It's
is
just the
part.
fact that, like, if you think about it, let's put it on perspective. His parents didn't want him. They put him in adoption. He got adopted by a bad parent. The bad parent had a boyfriend who abused the kid. Like, how's that not, like, that just fucking keeps stacking.
And then he finds out he's adopted afterwards.
Yeah,
it's
and
more
it's-
of finding out the truth that like, damn,
Right.
my OG parents didn't love me. My second pair of parents definitely didn't fucking love
Yeah.
me. And then
Finding
I
out
guess it
multiple
adds
truths.
to
We
it.
thought he was.
Just
I
stacks.
really thought they were
not-
gonna.
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that he was adopted. It's the
No, I
fact
never said that.
that
I didn't say that was a bad thing.
No,
it was
no,
just a stacking.
Yeah.
The way you said it.
And
that's
it
all.
seemed like he kind of like maybe suffered from like Stockholm syndrome. Like his mom did like these terrible things to him.
Definitely suffered from
And at the
Stockholm.
end, like, you know,
was
like,
taking care of
you're
her.
my number one. Like
Yeah.
you're my happy and all this stuff. So like, I don't know. Like I can't not see this movie and not think that like, even at the end when he tells like the host, the TV host, that guy, like, oh, like that's it, like you guys never cared about me, like no one's ever cared about me, but now you guys want to like put me on this show because like, you know, I kills people, blah blah. And I think it's kind of like I cannot not see this movie and not think about like we need to do better in terms of like mental health, because like not that this happens constantly, but it's one of those things where, yeah, like there is a pathway to that. And when you see people who are deranged, who do heinous crimes, like it, sometimes, yeah, it's random, but sometimes it comes from like trauma. Like almost everyone you know is a little bit unhinged, and it's because in either way
No,
they've
my
had
people are
trauma. Yeah, you're pretty cool. Yeah, sure.
That's a theme throughout the entire movie, because they start showing that, you know, that where they started cutting on some stuff, and then he couldn't get the help he needed.
Right.
So that was constantly throughout the whole movie. Like you could see different things getting cut, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you should see somebody. Yeah, I would, but they don't have funding for it. And then you just see that the rich. I mean, that's the whole theme of it. That the rich in the city just don't care about the hidden,
Yeah.
like you know the scum, the stuff that's
The
hidden away.
disenfranchised.
There
The
you go.
clowns.
Yeah. So that's why it's also so easy to see the message and kind of go like, yeah. But at the end of the day, I know when the movie crosses the line and when it doesn't. I'm not gonna go out there with a clown mask and start pumping holes
No,
in Wall
no, of
Street
course
boys
not.
in subways.
Yeah.
I would hope not, Pedro. I need you for the podcast.
I agree that I've seen the whole thing with the mental illness and everything. I liked when he wrote on the journal the thing about mental illness, or the funny thing about mental illness is you have to pretend like you don't have it.
Right.
And that definitely was like a thing. I was just like, that is super correct.
Right.
And I saw a mix of the whole mental illness, like toxic masculinity, him not getting help, him having to pretend something that he isn't, and everything all together. The more we lose the benefits and the rights to mental health and everything that we need to be able to keep ourselves sane in this world, the more fucking jokers we're gonna get in the world, essentially.
Right.
That's kind of how I see it. So
Yeah.
not everyone's gonna fall into the same, everyone has different degrees, but this is how we get all these mass shooters and all these fucking psychos and
Right,
people
right.
beaten, you know.
So yeah, I mean, I could see someone gravitating towards this movie if they're already like unhinged, like, okay, yeah, this is something I inspired to be, but like I feel like
Most people are probably too lazy, honestly. Let's
Yeah.
start with that too. Like, people, you have to get like a gun, or you have to like actually kill people and then try and figure out how to run away from it. Most people are probably going to be too lazy to fucking like,
yeah,
murder people.
but also, and then also some people are, and then there are also the people who are so far gone they don't care either. But
there is that too.
of the consequences.
Of course, there is always going to be those few that are going to get to that point.
Right, of
but
course.
we can avoid that happening.
Right. I feel for the most part people are good, and that is even though mass
You
shootings.
feel for the most part people are good?
Yeah, I think so. I feel.
Why do you think people are just inherently good?
I think so. I don't think they're inherently good, but I don't think they're like terrible. Like they're like murderers. You know, they're
I
not.
think it depends on the ambiance that you're growing up with.
Right, of course.
And there's just so many factors. I think that when you know, in this case, Joker, obviously his ambiance and the way he was, you know, raised was not the best of
Right,
options.
right.
I wish they would have showed more of his mom raising him. Because how do you not realize she's crazy?
Yeah.
How do you find out?
Because
Like, at
he
the
was
end of her
crazy
life?
himself.
He was crazy, and maybe also
Blinded?
what could have happened is that the trauma was so intense he just blocked it out.
And a lot of people who, even to today, don't notice that they went through abuse, that they
Right.
went through, you know, bad things, or that people maybe that were in their life that they cared about had a mental problem, because you don't know any better growing
Right.
up. And this is the only thing you're exposed to. So if you don't see any different
Right.
around you, of people close to you, there's no way that you're gonna have the
Capacity to know that it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just normal. There's things that I've seen now today as a 30-year-old that back when I was 20 or 15, I would have never known that was like
verbal abuse.
Verbal
or,
abuse.
She was like
or-
schizophrenic.
Yeah, it seemed.
It's not like she had like a
but
slight
it-
mental. Like
what-
she was serious. She had like a serious mental.
But it
Clearly,
could
he
be-
was too. So.
But
That's true.
it also could,
That's true.
It
They're
also
both schizo.
it also could be that the fact like he buried it. Like there are some times where you
He buried it every time she had like an episode.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes
she
that
was
really
in a mental hospital and he was taken away from her.
Yeah,
So
but that
maybe
was
in
when
his
they were
head,
young.
yeah, but like I guess when he was processing all that, he
She
kind
was
of
also
just
taking meds.
cut it off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think there was a long period of time when they weren't together, and
Okay,
then he
then
ended up
I guess
taking
that would
care
be
of her
different.
when he was older. Already.
right. And when she's older, she's already gone. So
Yeah.
like
Well,
he
she was taking
remembers.
medications too,
Right.
so she probably was better, after dealing with all the rehabilitation.
But yeah, I think
And he
that-
was also locked up too.
right. That is true, and we don't know what he did.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to remember either.
He probably got locked up after the head smash. Like he got his head
Not because
smashed.
he got head smashed when he was a child,
Right, but I mean,
but he was locked up earlier
adult.
as an adult. Remember, he was smashing his head against the
And
door.
right.
You're
and
right.
and they never explain what it is, and then he seems like he's either not acknowledging it or doesn't want to
I
know.
don't think they were gonna explain what it was.
Yeah.
though.
But I think it is somewhat of a what Chantel was saying. Sometimes you don't notice like you're being abused, and sometimes what happens is that we get hurt by people constantly, and then we look for that hurt again, not knowing that like it's not
People are
like
crazy.
thinking it's love, but it's actually like
Well, because
And for
they're
a
telling
child.
they're telling you that this is how it is.
Yeah,
you know
this is
I
what
mean?
love
This
is.
is what it is. This is what love
And the
is.
crazy thing is about childs is that they accept that's their normal because they don't
Right.
know any better.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So like if you do X, they think
Yeah.
that's normal.
Yeah.
And then that's their baseline.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anyone even in this room that can't say that they're not affected by like their childhood, even their way of thinking or the way they're brought up. Like I think all of us are affected by
Not at all.
our upbringing. Oh really? Mike? No.
Yeah, bro.
He's probably just
Everybody is.
denial.
Mike, cold blooded.
Mike is the next Joker because he's in denial.
No, I'm fine.
I try
I'm
to
good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I see through all that shit, man.
Sure.
Hey man, if that's what you think, that explains a lot.
You
I feel a
know,
lot of negativity.
all right, moving on to the movie.
what I did like, which I thought they should have kept, was the possibility of Bruce and the Joker being brothers. I really like that because
I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that because I thought if they were brothers, I like the fact that way it gives a reason for
Why they're
Batman.
both crazy?
It gives reason for Batman not to kill him though, and it gives a reason Joker to always toy with him. So I
And
did
why
make-
Batman's
More
crazy?
personal.
I like it if there's gonna be a
Make
sequel.
it more
This-
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both insane.
Exactly, and I did like the fact that like, oh man, if they go this route, Batman has a solid ass reason not to ever kill him, and Joker has a reason not to like ever like kill him either.
Now, this is not gonna be canon. If I'm not gonna see like that Batman and that Joker go at it, I don't need them to be brothers.
I like that. I hope there's no sequels. This needs to end
Yeah,
right
I
now.
hope.
I hope. This is
I
not
pray
gonna
to
be-
God I don't ever see
Because
another one of these movies.
I know for damn sure Joaquin Phoenix ain't gonna do a second
No.
one.
I do like how they open the door to that. It throughout the movie, like, oh
And they
man,
closed it.
that potential is like,
Yeah.
because you start thinking about it, man. That's
Yeah, I thought it
pretty
was good.
cool. That's a good potential as a reimagining of the character.
I did also think that it's like, man, this explains why the relationship is so weird. So yeah,
does.
I did get
or why
that.
they're both crazy, and blah blah blah.
Right.
How'd you guys
But
feel
then he's
about?
like old as fuck and Bruce was young as fuck.
Right. I mean, obviously,
But you never knew
it
Joker's
doesn't
age.
make sense, but it's just
How old is Joaquin?
He's probably
Like
in his 50s.
65.
No.
65.
Shit, man, he's 50 something.
The way he was looking at that fucking movie.
He lost a lot of weight for
yeah,
that
he lost a
movie.
lot of weight, dude.
he's 44
In real life,
in real life. But have you
that
seen?
nigga look 55.
Here,
He
I'm,
looks-
I'm, I'm,
when he
I'm gonna
looks
show you
re-
how he looks for real.
Yeah, he looks regular.
Oh, yeah, he looks way younger.
He looks
Damn.
younger. In the movie, like
He
man,
did.
you see that's what mental instability does to you. It ages you like 30 years.
Shit. Nah, he looked way older in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had a lot of
well,
skin
it's
marks,
the hair. The hair. They put they. I'm pretty sure that they did makeup on his hands as well to make him look more weathered as well.
Right.
Because his hand, sometimes the hands is what gives away age before your face.
Do you think that was the weight loss though?
It could be the weight loss, but
Fueled as fuck.
I think it was just kind of a mix of good makeup and also like sometimes just not putting makeup, and because sometimes the camera catches things that the naked eye doesn't see.
Right, of course.
So sometimes you look at yourself in a camera, and most people hate themselves seeing their picture. It's because
That's
the
crazy.
camera's taking more than what the human eye can already take. So when you see it in a picture, when it's like more clear, it's just like, whoa, like I fucking look horrible in this.
Yeah.
And it's just because of the type of camera, the lighting and things like that. So using that to their advantage, the hairstyle that they gave him, the weight loss,
It adds up.
it adds up and it makes him look really fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
That's very true. And like so that I also like the whole idea of how he incited the riots that caused the death of the Waynes. I thought that was a pretty fucking amazing thing. What I didn't like is them showing the Waynes getting killed.
We sick of
I'm
this
like,
shit.
I don't want to see that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish it would have ended when the Waynes were getting out of the theater and he's trying to rush them out. Because in your
Leaving
head,
it open.
and then
right?
you already know what's gonna happen. Like, oh shit, that's when
Yeah.
they die.
So you're saying you would have preferred they go into an alley, a Joker goes into the alley after them, the Joker walks out running.
No, I said I don't want
no.
that. That's exactly what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
We
I'm saying is
prefer-
that I just hope that when they were getting out of the theater, running away,
And you see
that's
somebody
it.
like
but
following
it
them.
cuts right there, cuts,
And then, yeah.
that's it. Because I don't need to see that. I already know how the Waynes
Well,
died.
yeah, fucking comic fans know that, but the average viewer, people watch this movie.
Get out of here with the average
Check-
fucking
check-
viewer
check-
shit.
check out-
It's just like Spider-Man. We've seen Spider-Man
Uncle Ben died. We don't need to see
twice.
no
People
more.
watch
Twice.
There are people that watch Avengers and ask me why the fuck is Superman not in there. People don't know shit.
Yeah, but the thing is that
People in the next generation are not going to know. So you know. But there's people that are going to come in later.
Look, the thing is that
That's
look,
a good point.
it's one of those things
fuck-
where
Nah, I agree with her. Fuck
it's
that.
not, because the thing, look at Spider-Man. It's been 2-3 reimagining of Spider-Man. We saw it twice of how he got his powers
I'm
and
not
how he
talking
did
about
it.
you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
the general.
generations.
That's fucking exactly what I'm saying. The
Oh.
general audience is saying that we saw 3 reimaginings of Spider-Man. 2 where you see his origin and Uncle Ben dying, and 1 where you didn't see shit about it.
And they're
Did you
fine with
miss
that.
it? Did anyone in the audience, in the general
And
audience,
that's
like,
how
oh
we
my
get
god,
dumb
I wish,
people that don't
I
know
wonder
about
how
that shit.
Spider-Man got his fucking. Nobody ever said that. Nobody cares about this.
You know how many fucking
Tom
people I have to
Holland
talk
saying
to
that.
about this shit because I worked in these movies and they don't know fucking dumbass shit. How many people do you think know about Birds of Prey?
Nobody
And
knows
look
about
at-
Birds of Prey.
Exactly,
That's what
and
I'm
they're gonna have
saying.
this
But the
movie
thing
that's
is that
gonna be
Birds of Prey-
shitty as shit.
Birds of Prey is not Spider-Man nor Batman.
But what she's saying is that people have came up to her.
People have come up to
and
me asking me
complained about
dumbass
Spider-Man.
fucking
We've
questions.
seen, all right, the one thing in Super, we've
Just 'cause
seen
it hasn't happened
his
to
parents
you-
die in every kind of
It's not
media
about.
you can
It's
imagine.
not about what's happening to me because I fucking read this shit all the time. I read Reddit boards. I read all this shit. No one, and I read like big newspapers, and I love reading comments and
You
newspapers.
sound like Trump. I read a lot. I've already read it. I got, I'm
So-
a big reader. Bigly read.
The thing is that like I read this shit, so it's not like anyone's ever asking themselves with Tom Holland, how did Tom Holland come to back? How did Tom Holland get his powers? Where's Uncle Ben? No one's ever asking that because we've seen
People
it.
ask, is there an Uncle
Doesn't
Ben
matter.
anymore? There is no Uncle Ben. There's just Tony Stark. There are a lot of people that don't even know that Uncle Ben exists in this iteration because he's never been
He's
mentioned.
never mentioned it.
Not even by name.
But he is in
So
a
he doesn't
suitcase.
exist.
He is in a suitcase that he got in the last one.
if you
But
pause-
if you know those things exactly, but nobody cares though. That's the fucking point I'm saying. The general audience
It's hard
doesn't
to
give a
care
fuck.
if you don't know what to care about.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Nobody cares. So the thing is that as a comic book fan, you're gonna know that seeing the Waynes run away, you know what that means. As a general audience, they don't give a fuck. They just see the Waynes running away. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to see them getting shot and killed. Like what's the fucking point of that? There's no
Because
point.
of the story, because there's no Joker without
I
Batman.
know, but as a comic book fan, you know that. As a general audience, they don't give a fuck.
But I'm
That's what
talking for
telling
the
you.
general audience here. As
She-
someone who has to think about the general audience all the
what
time.
she says is that some people.
I know what she's
have-
trying to say, and I'm trying to refute that. I'm telling you that it doesn't fucking matter to the general audience. The general
I
audience
don't think it
care.
matters to the general audience. Either.
They don't care.
I think that the general audience is going to go when the movie's over. They're going to if they would have done the way you said. Oh, they leave the theater. They would have ended the movie and go.
leave the theater?
They would have left the theater, and then the average audience member would have been like, "What happened to Thomas Wayne?"
All right, the average
The-
theater.
the-
all right,
the
open to
movie's over.
interpretation.
what
Yeah.
about
What-
the
what
part
happened?
what Mike said? They leave the theater and they focus on a clown
following them.
That's it. It cuts. You don't need to
You
see
don't
him die.
have to show them.
And you know what we're gonna get is Zazie Beetz alive or dead. That's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, we're
But
probably
that's
gonna get
not
that too.
That doesn't detract from the movie. I feel like having them kill the Waynes kind of detracts from the movie.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of
It's
fucking
a
minute.
part of the whole lore. It's literally the mythology. There's no way you can have either way or the other.
It's not literally the mythology that Joker causes the parents to die, so it's not
No, but
necessary
it's
for
in the
movie.
mythology that it's a part of the mythology in general. Not maybe to the story of Joker, but the whole mythology of Batman. It's all there.
Yeah, but this
so
movie's
it
not
doesn't.
about Batman nor the Waynes. It's about
Oh my
the
God!
Joker.
They already with including him. They already included
But,
him.
all I'm saying is it doesn't matter.
If they,
And the general audience is not going to ask you, oh
I
my
mean, we're
God.
gonna agree to disagree.
Yeah,
but we're not changing anybody's
it's
mind.
an agree to disagree. I'm just saying that it just doesn't matter. The general audience is not going to give a fuck if they see him get killed or not. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
says the person who doesn't have to deal with the general audience.
Who are you dealing with, Chantel? I was like, who the fuck is coming up to asking these questions?
To be fair, we all deal with the general audience, love.
Like, I mean,
But the thing is like, I
Billboards
get.
not dealing with the general audience of Marvel.
I mean,
no,
that-
but there's people I work with access all the time. My sisters ask me all the time. People
Yeah.
who don't watch comic books ask me all the time.
Worked in these movies.
I get what you're saying, Chantel, but you're not the only person who deals with normies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all do.
Yeah, but I mean, I get what you're saying. I guess it's kind of hard to speak for all. At the end of the day, there could be one person, two people, or three people that might come up to Chantel and ask that question. So then, in her eyes,
those people.
it validates what
Yeah.
she's saying, and then no one asks you, so it validates what you're saying.
Oh, I get asked the question too. I'm saying it doesn't matter. Like the general audience
Right.
does not gonna care about the lore of fucking Batman or the Joker. They're just watching this movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just
Then
doesn't
at that
add.
point,
It
then
doesn't
why
add
watch
to the
any
movie.
Anyway,
you're
back-
watching the. Wait, this is part of the conversation, guys. Stop! Don't do that, dude. Like we and Chantal are having an argument, and it's not a bad
Oh, wait,
thing.
you can say discussion.
Nah,
Or
that's
discussion, but it doesn't matter. It's part of the movie. We are talking about the movie.
Ding, ding, ding. Round three.
I agree with Armando. That shit was pointless. I didn't want to see it. I've seen it in video games. I've seen it in the shows. Every media format they've had Batman in, they've showed his parents die. If you want to see his parents die, there's another way for you to see it die than in Joker's origin movie, which is my point.
And you also had it in Batman vs Superman,
And you had it in fucking Batman vs Superman. Why do I need to see it in the next DC
where it
movie?
didn't make sense at all.
Yeah. It didn't make sense. That's a whole other rabbit hole. I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get into that
Batman vs
DC
Superman
movie.
again.
But I got it. They could have, or they could have not.
If
showed
they show
the
that shit in Birds of Prey, I'm gonna be so mad. I really don't understand why everybody's so hyped. Like, and then when we were leaving, like everyone started fucking clapping. I'm looking
Yeah,
around
it's
like,
people clapping. I'm just like, it's not that serious.
It was
Nah.
good, but it wasn't like this
it wasn't fucking
Tour de
Endgame.
France movie.
Yeah, I got clap for Endgame. This wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, nobody clapped in our theater.
So,
What is-
one of the things I wanted to mention is like, I wish there was more of him going full Joker. Like,
That's what I wanted. I mean, I understand
you had it
his
for like the last
origin.
10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, I understand it's his origin, so we weren't going to see like a whole movie of the Joker doing
Right.
crazy shit. But I thought there'd be laughing gas, him poisoning a reservoir,
I
something.
agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be the first half was his like downward spiral, and the next half was gonna be like him causing chaos. I just felt like this was like it reminded me of like there's an episode of South Park where Chef dies and he falls off a cliff, like an airplane falls on him, gets eaten by like a bear, and then something else happens to him, and it's like reminded me of that where it's like just piling on
Yeah.
this long to get to the point where like okay, I get it now, he's a Joker. And I feel like I did like the movie and because of that, because it looked like every support system he had to crumble entirely for him
Yeah.
to be like this. So I did like that. I just felt that I was like, man, like I was getting kind of like just tired of seeing him getting beat down so much. Like, all right, when are you going to turn? Like the anticipation for him
What's
to
gonna
turn.
be the last straw?
Yeah. And I think that's why I like the ending so much where he's in the talk show, because the tension was like, okay,
Yeah.
he's gonna flip here.
He went
like,
all the way,
on
yeah.
live TV, he's gonna lose it. And so I did like that.
I don't know. I wanted him to shoot like people in the audience and shit. I wanted more death, more destruction.
I like that. Like you were saying that the talk show really was the final line of defense, because he went into that going, "I'm going to kill myself."
Yeah.
But then he started seeing more and more like this guy really just wanted to ridicule me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? fuck this guy.
Right.
And then that's when he was like, nah, all right, here we
Yeah,
go.
the last pillar. The last pillar had to kind of fall.
He's like, I got my platform. I'm here in front of the world. I'm gonna take this movement to a whole fucking new level. And then bam.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's when he went Joker, 100%.
Right.
And that's the most Jokerish thing. So when you guys said, oh, I wanted more full Joker, like that was it.
That was like the beginning, like the full creation of the Joker. That part I get, but I thought like after that, there would. I understand that at some point he has to become full Joker. He doesn't really know what he's doing, but then last second, whatever. But I wanted more of the Joker that we know.
I also like that. I don't know. The name to me was kind of like a double meaning because he said, "Call me Joker." Because you called me Joker because like I fucking suck. Like it was pretty much like an insult.
Yeah.
Him saying this Joker here, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna show you a fucking Joker.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I
do like that.
I like that. The name is a weapon in a way
I didn't think about that
of
at
the
the
people
time.
that ridiculed him.
I really like that.
Him naming that was the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah.
Aside from the bullet in the
Yeah.
head. But yeah.
The bullet was the ultimate fuck you.
Yeah, it was interesting because when he said that, like, yo, call me the Joker. And he was like, and then he mentioned that. I'm just like, oh shit,
I didn't
like
even
you're bringing it
remember
back
he
on him.
said it too. I didn't even realize that he called him Joker.
Me neither. I
thought he
didn't
said
realize that, and I'm just like, did he actually say that to you?
Yeah.
But then he's like, man, if he did say that, that's fucking powerful, dude.
Fucking good.
You're bringing that shit back to him.
One of the things I did like about the movie was the music. I thought the score and
It was perfect. For
there
the movie.
was a part where he's on the subway and it's just him like he's in the center and like he's in the back and they're playing this music and it sounds like a Batman themed music. It just sounds like, I'm guessing it's like his theme or whatever, but it just sounds like
it was a little Hans Zimmerish.
yes, it sounded just
I know what you
epic.
meant. Right, but it wasn't. It was Hans Zimmer without the Hans Zimmer.
Yeah,
It's kinda hard to explain.
without the shake, the bass.
Yeah, it set the mood
Was it Notch
without.
Below?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it set the mood. I think it was like a bunch of cellos just.
It wasn't Blade Runner.
Right. Oh my god. Yeah, man, that second Blade Runner was intense.
Yeah.
You know which scene I really liked? How they filmed when he goes into the fridge.
Yeah.
So he goes into the
Oh,
fridge. So
yeah.
the camera's completely stopped, and then he goes inside the fridge, and then the camera kind of turns handheld and starts going in. I'm like, I don't know what it was. It just made me feel really uncomfortable after that.
And then it goes.
The editing comes in. The editing that I was talking about being done very well. They knew where to make you feel uneasy.
And then it turns
Definitely.
to him in the bed. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
how did he get out?
He opened the fucking fridge.
he
man, what
opened
you
it.
mean?
But can you? But there's an old
No, no.
fridge. Can you open those old fridges from the inside?
Yeah.
Didn't people
Yeah, they
used to die
could
from
because that was the
being-
one way for you to protect yourself in a nuke.
Oh
Touche.
man.
Touche.
Fall out
Fridge.
through the
People so
fallout,
stupid.
baby.
Indiana Jones. He survives the nuke.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but yeah.
What was another one?
The movie being trash.
I mean, you could talk more about that if you want. 'Cause
Nah, dang, I forgot again what meme. Nah, I don't remember now.
So
I really forgot.
as compared to the rest of the Jokers, like where does this fall for you? I guess obviously the worst one, right, Mike?
Bottom of the pile.
You know,
No, I
'cause
wouldn't say that.
I feel like
Wait.
Under the
he-
fucking, what was it, the 80s Batman?
No.
Joker?
He's worse than
He's the
Jared
worst
Leto.
Joker. I like Jared Leto.
Oh.
Jared
Bro,
Leto.
this is why I can't have you as like any credibility at all. Like,
What was wrong with Jared? It was a different
Everything-
take. That I
everything
can
was
accept
wrong
as a
with
different
Jared
take
Leto.
of Joker.
right.
I can accept each and every Joker as a different take. So me choosing like where to rank them, I
He's
don't
at
know.
the bottom.
I can't do it because they're all so different.
I
Heath
think-
Ledger at the top.
They're all so different though.
Mark
No,
Hamill. If you say Mark Hamill's number one, I can't be mad at you.
right. But the thing is, they're all so good in their own way. Like
Right.
even the one that you were just hating on right now, you said 80s. It's really the 50s or 60s. My bad.
Oh, I'm
The-
saying because
the-
I watched it in the 80s.
Oh yeah, the Cesar
So
Romero
old,
one.
man.
Yeah.
I
Back when you were in college.
I really like that
So
Joker
old.
Back in my first
for
semester
its
of
own
college.
thing. Yeah, I can't really rank them. It's hard, but I think he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
Right.
I think-
Like
especially
really
when he
good.
went full Joker.
Yeah,
It was amazing. Like I love that.
Yeah,
I
ju-
love
ju-
seeing him.
It,
man.
it was just the confidence that the
Like
Yeah.
Ledger light.
because
Not really.
It's different.
Because
Him being in the police car, it reminds me
Oh,
of
that's
Ledger in the
that's what I
police
have
car.
there. They did an homage
Ah,
to
they did on
Joker in the
purpose.
police car. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was on
I
purpose.
changed my mind about that scene. If it's an homage
It was
to
super, like it was on the nose, dude.
Yeah,
Like, it was
it was.
super
I'm
on
like,
the
damn.
nose.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
so I mean, I
Yeah, because both of the parts, when he does that in the Heath Ledger one, that's when he's kind of like escaping when he
Yeah.
does his big move.
Oh
it was
my God, I
like
love
the
that
freedom.
movie.
Yeah.
And that's what he felt when he was in the police car. He wasn't trapped. He
No.
was
Yeah.
like free because
Yeah.
he's like, look at them, they love me.
Yeah.
Like this is it.
I'm seen.
He's saying people understand me now. That's what he
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
And
I'm
the
not
cop asked
invisible.
him too, like what did the cop ask
Like,
him?
what are you laughing
What
at?
are you laughing at?
He's like,
I-
I'm not laughing. I'm just happy. Or no, I forgot what he said.
I don't remember, but it was something cool.
It was cool.
The thing
You
is,
don't have the-
I went in comparing him to like Heath Ledger. And I know that's probably like my mistake, but I just like the differences, like how he feels like crazy, but there's like a sign, there's a reason for his
Calculated.
madness.
There was a logic.
There's a logic to
See?
his madness, which I did like because he was always thinking one step ahead.
That's what I wanted.
And I like that about Keith. But the thing is, he was already like his Joker was already defined. You know what I'm saying? He already like we don't. His story is a mystery, but he's already defined as a person. And in this movie, you're seeing eventually the birth of the Joker. But I did like the madness and the chaos that he just thought. I think his way, it was like more burn it all, like burn like the foundation of society, because it failed me basically. So I took it like that. I took it like society failed me, so fuck it. And I think
I mean, Heath Ledger's was all burn it all as well.
Yeah.
So.
Right,
So
yeah.
it's the basis. The basis of Joker is to create chaos.
Right,
So as
right.
long as every iteration creates chaos, then you did the character right.
yeah, and I think at the end of this movie, I think he nailed.
So would you say that Jared Leto created chaos?
Yeah, he created chaos and figuring out whether he's a good or not Joker.
He's a great Joker.
That's a whole other conversation. but
Honestly, I don't
yeah.
remember him that much as a joke because he wasn't in the movie that much.
No,
He wasn't memorable.
he was only there to explain Harley's origin
Damn.
because of the normies. We go back.
He's
to
not in
this.
Birds of Prey, right?
No,
Fuck, I missed
Nah,
that
he's
Joker already.
not.
That was a great Joker.
No, he was not good.
I respect all forms of Joker, including the Jared Leto one.
So Orlando, what's your ranking of Jokers?
I would say, don't do.
Do it.
I would say Heath Ledger,
Absolutely.
Mark Hamill.
Absolutely. Dang, Pedro.
This one, Joaquin Phoenix,
That hurts.
then Jack Nicholson.
Same.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This
Thank
was
you.
better than Jack Nicholson?
I love the fact that you didn't even rank Jared Leto. Good on you, Orlando.
And you didn't even rank Cesar Romero. How dare you?
I could care less
I didn't
about him.
watch it.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
never
thing.
watched the show? Oh, that show was
No.
so great.
Yeah, I saw
Great, are you
pieces of
sure?
it.
I used to love that show. I had it on fucking VHS.
You're a little boy though.
No, he was in college.
Oh,
was
right,
my
right,
first
right.
semester.
You're
Shit,
Benjamin
dude.
buttoning it up, right?
Absolutely. Nah, that guy was great. You guys are hitters.
No, he wasn't bad, dude. He was the first Joker we ever got. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, this guy's at the bottom. And he's not a bad Joker.
No.
Not by just the rest of the movie.
I loved his confidence at the end, though. That's
Yeah.
what makes it. That's what makes it. When he started dancing down the stairs, and then when he was just smoking, and he was just like being cocky, I guess you could say.
Oh, one of the
That was really
scenes that I really, really liked, I was telling Chantel about it, is you can really tell how shattered he was as a person, that he doesn't understand human emotions. Like he didn't like the scene where you really see it is when he's in the comedy club and he's writing down the audiences. He's looking. So the guy says a joke.
Yeah. And he writes down what's funny
He's
about
doing
it.
he's doing the setup for the joke and he's laughing. He's like ha ha ha. He's not laughing because he's nervous.
He's off, he's off.
He's laughing because he's trying to judge when they're laughing. And then he laughs. He hasn't said the joke yet. Then the punchline comes. He's silent. People laugh and he's looking around, kind of like, "What was it?"
And he writes
And
it
then he
down.
goes, "People like sex jokes.
Yeah.
People like this and that." Because he just doesn't connect. He's completely like disconnected from society.
Yeah, that was
Right.
really good.
And that was good. He laughed off like 3 different times and
Yeah.
looked to the side, and I was just like, this
The whole
is
time.
this is the perfect scene to show how completely broken he is, like as far
Right.
as connection.
Yeah, it's true.
So I was like, this already is the foreshadowing that he's totally fucked.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of my favorite scenes. It was one of the first scenes.
Yeah, that was a really good scene.
Yeah, you know, when he did the stand up, I did like it because he was bombing clearly at first, and then at the end it just shows him like play music and it's
To hide the fact.
to hide it because like at that moment
In
he's-
his head.
in his
He imagined
head,
himself,
he's
people
like,
laughing,
he's
right?
like, I killed it, like I did
Yeah.
great, and it's when we, you know, it's now that we find later on that we find out that his girl Zazie Beetz wasn't there,
Oh yeah.
but he imagines her there and she's like laughing at her jokes.
Right.
She's laughing at his jokes.
That was actually what his first bomb. I guess when people were booing, he looks at her
and she's like laughing.
and she's laughing. He's like, "I got this," and
Right.
that's when he starts. The music plays.
And it just goes back to like that.
That is true. That was his
like safety
his,
blanket.
his support.
Yeah, that was his support. It reminded me a lot of like people that have like split personality disorder. Like you kind of like go through so much trauma, and then you make up characters to
Deal with it.
To deal with it, and they manifest when like you're scared or you're nervous or whatever, and then that's when you had like United States of Terror, like where she splits off different personalities. So it kind of reminded me of that, of like he has her there on doing tough times. So like,
that's right.
He always had her
That's a
at
good
the,
way.
at the
That's
hospital
true. With the mom. Yeah.
with the mom. With
I'll get you a coffee. Yeah, but
yeah. No one.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was fucked.
Damn, I'll get you a coffee. And she never came back with that fucking coffee.
Well, they cut
Right?
off. It cut off. He went home after that.
He went home.
At that point, when she like kissed him or whatever, I'm like, this is all clearly in his head. That was the moment where I was
Really?
like,
That's
yeah.
when you saw it? I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
I didn't see it at all.
I didn't see it until I saw it. Well, I saw it when she was just like, "Aren't you Arthur who lives across the hall?" I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I like.
She fucking doesn't know this guy.
I wish they wouldn't have done the flashbacks. I wish they would have like let you figure out that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would.
I mean,
crazy.
that is true.
I understand you have to because not everyone's gonna figure it out.
You're
you
right.
have to, but I don't know. I just wish they wouldn't have.
Well, I guess we go back to the normies conversation. Right?
It really does come back to that. Like, is it holding your hand or not?
yeah.
That
No,
would
but that was a really, really
It-
good scene.
It even makes you think that their first interaction was that real, like the first one at the elevator.
The one where she's like, "Did you follow me?" That was bullshit.
no, the elevator. I didn't even think about
No,
that.
no,
the elevator.
No, the elevator's real because
Oh,
he did
because,
it.
yeah,
because he did it.
Oh, and she looks at him weird.
And she looks
But
at him weird. Exactly.
he-
She's like, "All right."
Yeah, but that still could have been
Fake?
that still could have been fake.
I didn't take that as fake. What was fake was her knocking on the door again. Did you follow me? No.
No.
Yo, that scene was.
So did he actually follow her though?
He did follow
followed
her,
her,
and then
and
he
then
chickened
he
out.
stopped.
He chickened out right at the front because he was gonna go in and like say something to
Yeah.
her. Like he was building up the confidence to talk to her, and he's like, "Oh no, I can't." But then in his mind, the troubled time. Oh man, I didn't get a chance to get the balls to talk to her, and then his brain said, "Oh, what if she just
What if she
came
comes
to
up
me?"
to you and she,
So again, it's a support system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did all right.
The human mind is so fucking insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like shit like that could really happen. That's crazy.
it's fascinating.
And I'm sure it has.
it's the most powerful thing out there, man.
Yeah, so definitely. You know what? Even all this talk of that, of like the psychology of it, 4.5. I 4.5.
you know,
Orlando.
we did that for Ad
We did it
Astra.
for Ad Astra.
At the end, I was like, oh, three stars. And then at the end, I was like, 3.5.
4.5.
You know what? Nah, still 1.5.
Hey, you should have brought it up to 2, man.
It's a 2. Not I remember anymore. He was really fucking good.
It's not a bad movie. It's really not a bad
It's
movie.
really
It's
a
just
bad
not
movie, though.
what we expected.
You know, it's not that it's a bad movie.
It was everything I expected.
Really?
Honestly.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was overhyped. To me, it was overhyped.
Yeah.
It was. I think
It wasn't a
everybody
bad
was
movie.
talking like this
They're
movie
making it seem
the
like
second
it's
coming.
the
or whatever.
best DC movie since fucking Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Right.
And it,
It wasn't.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, because Dark Knight isn't the best one. It's Batman Begins.
Well,
We're not getting into that conversation, Pedro.
well, in terms of like new DC movies,
So
not,
Joker has a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. right
Oh,
now.
okay. So
Wow.
that's not.
Actually dropped.
I thought it was gonna be higher, honestly. But
Because of the
Nah,
hype.
that's about where it should be.
yeah,
right now.
I think so. I
It should
think
get
it's
a little lower, maybe 65.
It might get lower because I think a lot of people don't understand this movie like you.
Audience.
Fuck it.
like you.
Wait, audience 93%. Audience is 93.
I think
70%
it's usually
is
higher
critics.
than critic, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It usually is, yeah.
The critics feel me on this.
Except for Last Jedi, but that's another can of worms.
How would
Don't-
you guys
don't start it, man.
rank it in terms of
Bottom.
the latest DC film?
Bottom.
Not
Top.
Not off.
Bottom.
Not for part of Christopher Nolan's Dark
know,
Knight
bottom.
trilogy. Okay, bottom.
I mean, it's hard where to rank this, but
Yeah.
if I had to, I enjoyed this one more as
Oh,
a
no.
character study than
It is a
like,
character study.
Then like, are you trying to compare it to like Aquaman and shit like that?
Yeah, it's completely different movies, though.
It's completely different,
get it.
but I enjoyed this
Bottom.
more. I enjoyed this more because the movie didn't hold your hand as much as the other stuff. I don't know. It's just
But
completely different.
it's two different demographics. I
Actually,
feel.
no. Shazam, then the. Oh, man, Shazam was so trash.
Shazam was
so
amazing,
good.
dude.
Yeah, we had the review. already.
Yeah,
Shazam was
yeah. He
trash.
hated, remember he hated Shazam.
But yeah.
This and Shazam were at the bottom.
I don't know. I just feel it's different demographics. You can't. I don't think you can really rank these against those.
This to me, okay, so this is
Yeah, you can.
this is a comic movie that doesn't feel like a comic movie. The way
It's
to
not.
me,
It doesn't feel
Logan
like a comic.
is a comic movie that doesn't feel like a comic
That's
movie.
true.
This is DC's Logan.
Yeah.
Except Logan was really, really good.
Dude, Logan was amazing.
Well, I think because it was just a.
This is DC's Logan.
I don't think it was like. I feel like the thing about Logan, it was just a regular. It was a movie. It was a comic book movie. You know that like you probably just said didn't feel like a comic book movie,
Yeah.
but you could tell there's comic book things in it. I don't think
This
Joker
felt a
had
little
any
more
of that.
adult.
Exactly, Joker
But
was.
then
more
again,
adult.
Dark Knight doesn't have that either.
Dark Knight was. It
Yeah,
didn't feel
it
like
does.
a comic. It did not feel like a comic.
It
movie.
didn't,
Dark
but
Knight,
it had comic book things in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see it,
costumes. This shit had costumes.
and like just
Shit,
things.
that
just-
costume.
there are certain things about it that had it was comic booky, but I think this movie is just it's an individual movie. It's a character movie.
It's a character piece. Alrighty then. So that's the end of our episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can eat now.
All right.
What?
Damn, you wait for us to eat.
Chantal can eat now.
You should have eaten, Chantal.
So,
I'm hungry.
what did you guys think of the Joker? Let us know. We're on Instagram and on Facebook.
It was trash. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, if it was trash, fire emoji. If you liked it, thumbs up.
Actually, isn't fire emoji like fire?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just hot. man.
Oh,
There's
but I
like a
thought
trash emoji.
There's
like,
a poop face.
There's a poo face. Okay, poo face emoji. Yeah, I thought about like a trash, like on fire, like like a dumpster on fire.
Nah.
Or a skull.
All right, ladies and gents, thank you for listening. Till next time.
Later.
Bye bye.
Outro.